Brought to you by Podcast City Network.
It is time to play.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
Let's go!
A shot of entertainment to the head.
No doubt.
So sit back, relax,
Put your drinks up!
and enjoy the entertainment.
Okay.
Now we come to the payoff.
Let's rock.
Welcome, everyone, to the Everett Lee Show podcast. I'm Everett Lee. Quick shout out to all my followers on Twitter. You can follow me at the Everett_Lee, Facebook.com/EverettLee. Click that thumbs up. And, of course, Podcasting Network. Head over to podcasting.net for your latest podcasts, such as the Everett Lee Show, Deathmatch Russell Podcast with David C. Russell, Russell Podcast with Robin Nielsen, the Deleted Wrestling Podcast with all three that you just heard and I just mentioned, and Super Radio Brothers Podcast, Second Rounds New York and Florida edition, Chris Carnage Show, and Imaginarium with Scott and Todd, and much, much more on the Podcast City Network. You follow Podcast City Network over on Facebook, Podcast City Network on Facebook. Click that thumbs up and follow Podcast City on Twitter at Podcast City Net. I don't know about you, but let's cut the damn music. What's up? I want to introduce my co-host. I was supposed to have two co-hosts tonight. One is sitting at home with a friend, eating pizza, drinking beer, and watching PWG. McShaft. He is out of commission tonight. He's overloaded with wrestling pizza and beer, and a buddy of his watching it. I got joining the podcast tonight here on the Everett Lee Show is none other than host of Deathmatch Russell Podcast, David C. Russell. What's up, man?
Hello, Everett. And what are you doing again, man? It's like we just cannot get away from each other ever. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna live on your couch. I seriously think I should. We just don't get away from podcasting ever. We just are addicted. We have an addiction. I wonder if there's a school. I wonder if there's a class or something that we can go to or attend a seminar.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But it seems like that's basically all we do. I'm working nonstop with podcasts. Being the co-owner of the podcasting.
Like always, big congratulations to you as always. Big stuff coming. That's part of the Podcast City Network and a lot of the other companies that are going around. You know, we have to, say congratulations to everybody that's just doing a good job, from the start of, remember when you were, just started out? You just had, how many people? Podcasts decades, This is
Yeah, this 4 years. 4 years, man. I've been doing this for 4 years. 3 show name changes. Started with Everett's Hangout, the short-lived Off the Corner, and then in 2015 it became the Everett Lee Show, and it's been going ever since, man. Ever since.
Killing.
I know. I'm still killing it because it's what I love doing.
Thank you for letting me be a part of it, as always. All your promotional podcasts. Let's call it
promotional
tonight,
podcast.
Right? Yes, for all the companies, and the list goes on and on. All the companies, but the Deleted Podcast is something special, and yeah,
it's something new that we've basically have thrown out there to just to do something different. Talk about good old, wrestling, old school wrestling. That's basically what it is,
But yeah, we still talk about wrestling to this day, and tonight we'll be talking a lot about wrestling too, as always. Mm-hmm. So, looking forward to it. I just recently heard that you were at an event for New Japan.
Yeah, I definitely was. Trying to get our
social
media tags straightened out here. You probably see on the live stream.
I see it.
Yeah, trying to get everything looking nice. Last minute touches, of course. You know, that's what happens when you go live, you know?
Yeah, live.
You know, when you go live, stuff like that happens. Here you go, over on the right-hand side, you got my Facebook and Twitter, and you got David's Facebook and Twitter right there. Which
beautiful.
Hopefully everyone can read. I can't see no comments. Is there any comments coming in?
Comments. Let me see. Is anybody in there?
No. Is anyone in there? Hello. Is anyone out there? Is anyone in there? You know.
I'll do it. I'll trend one there. Hello.
Hello. Anyone listening? You know. Well, of course, people are going to be listening to the audio version of this podcast. You know.
Absolutely. And the video version later. You know,
I know.
The audio, video. You know, because you're always doing some stuff cool with graphic and always working on some stuff. Always doing something.
Yeah.
You know. But
I'm
let's get
always
back to where we
doing
were. We were talking about an event that you were just attended.
Yeah. Actually, what is today? Friday?
Today's Friday.
Yeah, it was last week, man. It was last week. I had the option of actually like going to seeing a show, which was Adolescent Theory in Orlando at the House of Blues.
That's right. That group that you've been trying to give tickets away for like months and months and months. Did they ever go? Oh no! I think you sold like one ticket. I think you gave them all away and just said, "Here you go." So nobody won them. Remember?
Actually, I couldn't even give them away.
I know.
I couldn't even give them away. I even tried giving them away, and no one was like, "Huh?" You know, I feel bad for Adolescent Theory, man, because I tried this.
Didn't you put it on a parked car that was outside the parking lot of the local Walmart?
Yeah.
Speaking of Walmart, let's get right.
Well, let me talk about the event I was at, man. You're jumping ahead of me. You're jumping ahead of me. You got to let me talk about the event I was at, because it was delightful. I was at CEO Gaming event here in Daytona Beach at the Ocean Center. It was CEO New Japan Wrestling with a event. You had a fighting tournament. If you're familiar, if you watch CEO Gaming on Twitch, they do fighting tournament, video game fighting tournament. A lot of people came in from all over the place for the event there at the Ocean Center here in Daytona Beach. And they had their gaming event, and then later that night they had New Japan Wrestling they threw together. The owner of CEO Gaming got with Kenny Omega, and Kenny Omega pulled some strings from New Japan Wrestling to get wrestlers from New Japan, and they had a good stacked card, which was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was.
You had a good seat too, because you were showing pictures, and you met a couple of the guys taking pictures just randomly in the hallway. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, they had a meet and greet with the Gorillas of Destiny, man. That was pretty damn cool. That was pretty cool. Having that right there. Met the Gorillas of Destiny. Took my picture with them. Met the guy I was sitting next to. He was on vacation. The guy came on vacation, and he heard about the event. He was on vacation in Cocoa, Florida, so he decided to come down and check out the show. So he's sitting next to me and my wife there, and
so you had a good partner with you to talk about wrestling the whole night. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was pretty neat. So we sat there, and we were looking over the event, and I was talking to him. He was there on vacation, and we were talking about wrestling, having some good time, good conversation. And he said, "I wonder if they have a meet and greet and merch." I said, "I don't know." My wife said, "Why don't you go down to the concession stand and bring me back, something else to drink?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to go down and get myself another beer." So we walked down there, and on our way walking around the corner, no one recognized him. I probably told you this story. If not, I'm going to tell you again.
But tell everybody.
I'm going to tell everyone that's viewing and the listeners. that I could turn the corner. Me and him turned the corner. He said to me, he said, "Look who it is." It was Bobby Fish from the Undisputed Era sitting there with this tall-ass hot blonde just standing there. And he was talking to Chase Owens. Bobby Fish was. People were walking by not really noticing it was Bobby Fish. Yeah. And he said, "Hey, you wouldn't mind, snapping a picture of me and Bobby Fish, would you?" I said, "No, man, I don't mind." He said, "Here's my camera." I said, "All right, show me." He had one of those high-tech, lens cameras. Yeah. It took really good pictures. So he showed me how to work it. I said, "Okay, get over there." We walked over there, and we kind of stopped because Fish was talking to Owens, and he's sitting there talking to Owens, and he said to me, the guy I was there with, he said, "I don't want to be that guy that interrupts conversation." I said, "I know you don't want to be that guy, man, because it sucks."
That's all thing that they don't want it to be really, because then the crowd comes in. Well, go ahead. You'll tell the story.
Yeah, I'll tell the story, man. I'll tell you the story. Your jaw dropped when I was telling you about this. So we're sitting there, and we went to approach him. And people were walking by, kind of looking, like not really paying attention to who this was standing right there, which was Bobby Fish. So it took one mark. He walked by, looked, then stopped, turned around, looked, and he said, "Oh my God, look, it's Bobby Fish." Really? Everyone, take a picture. It's like, and then the guy said, "Well, it looks like I won't be taking a picture now." So Bobby took a picture with the kid, and then he got out of there. He basically spent the rest of the night, I assume, in the back watching it on the monitor there, enjoying the show. So we noticed Gorilla's Destiny had the merch table, meet and greet and everything set up there. So we went ahead and we went around and we met the Gorilla's Destiny, got my picture taken, which was fantastic. I loved it, and those guys were really cool. They asked how I was doing. I said, "Pretty cool." We did the 2 suite, and we went to the concession stand, got everything we needed, and went back, and the event started. It was a pretty good damn event. I love the beginning of the event for the fact that the CEO Gaming guy that put everything together, who runs CEO Gaming, got in the ring and did some moves, got in the match with a heel, and he beat him. And then afterwards, Kenny Omega came out and thanked everyone for coming out. And he said, "These 2 matches, this is just a start. We're in for a long night. We're sorry about start late." Yeah, they had to start late. Believe it or not, the reason why they had to start late for the fact was that the Ocean Center didn't organize where people had to come in at the entrance. Instead of having one entrance for people coming in, they had multiple entrances. So wrestling fans were lined up all over, and they didn't know what to do. They said, "Do we just cut the line off here and have them come?" And they ended up just opening up the doors and just everyone getting in there, ready to get into the arena, and then they let everyone in, which was really nuts.
I hate that sometimes. Don't you hate that when you're at an event? It's just like you want to get your cheers. I'm always the first fan that, you wait in line, be patient. I hate the fit, and then you start lining up. You want to get there early. You want to get your seat. Yeah. And then you got some douchebag, or may I curse on this? I don't even know if this is censored or not.
Yeah, it's not censored. Whatever. Go ahead.
All right.
Let it loose, man.
Some dumbasses or fans, you know how they always like this? They sit in the seat. They just randomly sit down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In a seat. And you're like, "Excuse me, you know what? This is my seat. Let me see your ticket. You're way over there, dude."
Yeah.
Don't you? That's always those things that the pet peeve of wrestling. Is that always it's been around for how long now? And they try to be smart asses about it. "Oh, I don't know." You're gonna call a ticket person over here. Come on, this guy's not in his right seat.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not in his right seat. Yeah.
But he's all the way across the arena.
Yeah.
I love it.
I hate that.
Huh?
I hate that when you find out your seat's way across, the arena there.
I know. But
yeah.
me, I'm always on my end seat, when I'm at a show, or wherever in the middle,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, your event really took off. There was a lot of good matches that night. I was actually reading the results over, and you were telling me about a lot of the matches. Really were like the chemistry was there. It really was awesome experience for yourself.
It was. It definitely was. It was a really good experience, and I just loved it. And since we're talking about that, let me go ahead and pull this up here real quick.
I forgot to ask about the event. What did your wife think of it?
She loved it. She loved it.
Really?
After the event was over, she looked at me and she said, "Oh my God, that show was awesome." It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Sweet.
It was.
And I'm sure that guy next to you really enjoyed it too.
Yeah. It was just it was great. It was really, really great. It kicked ass. They had a really good thing. And let me pull this up here on the computer screen here. Look at this. This is it right here. This right here. You viewing the live stream?
Hold
on your end?
Going back on. I was just looking at some notes. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, there was a main event right there. Right there. That
Hold on.
was one hell of a main event.
Why am I not getting it?
Why you're not getting it? Here, let me do this. Hold on.
I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Well, let me just do this.
I got it. Okay, I see myself. Hi.
Oh, you see yourself? I'm going to move the camera, so hopefully I don't disconnect you here.
All right, got it now. Okay, there.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to move the camera because I have a camera that's pointing at me, so David can see me. And, of course, I got the camera that everyone on the live stream can see. And let me go ahead. Am I looking too good, too shabby?
Not too shabby.
Too shabby. All right. Okay. Let me turn this around. Can you see that? Does that help right there?
Absolutely.
Can you see that really good?
That's good.
Okay. What about there?
Perfect.
That's good. Okay. All right. Everyone's
Just
viewing.
Maybe.
Zoom in. Right there.
Yeah, because you cut off your top of your computer screen. Yep, perfect.
Perfect. All right. So there is the main event. What do you think about that?
That's badass.
Yeah, that was good. These two right here, Kenny Omega and Kota Ishiba, the Golden Lovers, was just fantastic. And Naito and Hiro Tanahashi was just fantastic. But this right here, I mean, just the event was great right there.
Yeah.
It definitely was. This event right here was second right there before the main event. You had what do you call it? I don't even know how to say their names. Roppongi Vice.
Yeah.
Yeah, against Dragon Lee and
Roppongi.
Yeah, Roppongi. Yeah.
Pog.
Yeah.
Remember the whole Pog?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking metal discs. I have those somewhere laying around.
I know. Yeah. Let me fix this. There we go. We got fit to screen there. Now, this match right here, this match, I'll highlight right here. Well, you can't see it. Well, you can't see my mouse, but the one on the left right there, that was just freaking great. Ooh, look at that.
Ooh.
I was checking out the live stream there. All right. Yeah, this event, that tag team match with Roppongi Vice and Dragon Lee, that was really good. That was a really good match there. Then, of course, you got the Gorillas Dusty. You had Tangaloa and Tamatanga versus Juice Robinson and David Finlay. I got to tell you about that right there.
You know what?
I got to tell you. Can I tell you what happened during that match? And everyone's seen it that viewed it, but this is gold, man. This is gold. Let me tell you what happened. Okay. During that match, when the Gorillas of Destiny and Juice Robinson. Let me turn you around real quick. I'll tell you this.
Yeah, why are we?
Okay,
Right.
during the match, all right, with Juice Robinson and David Finley.
You're way off.
Right there. All right. Yeah. There. All right, during that match right there. Okay. Now this is just great. This is just great. It was a really good match. David Finley, Juice Robinson. I got to say, Juice Robinson has come a long way from being the character in NXT. We've known that's followed him as CJ Parker and him being Juice Robinson. He's improved so much in ring and out of the ring, and just fantastic, great worker.
I was going to say he was at CZW's Best of the Best one year too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. He's improved so much. He's improved so much.
We called him Moon Man.
Moon Man. Now David Finley, Fit Finley's son, he's fantastic too. Really fantastic. Now, during the match, Tama Tonga took David Finley up in the bleachers next to where we were sitting at in the middle, up in the stands there, and everyone's chanting G-O-D, 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 and he's pounding him, and Tangalo is back in the ring pounding Juice Robinson. So it looked like he needed some help, so Tama leaves David, okay, and he goes back to the ring, and it's 2-on-1 against Juice. David's trying to collect himself, and he starts getting up, and he starts walking off, and everyone's like, chanting at him and everything and stuff, and I stand up. I've had 2 beers in me. I stand up, and I say, his name is Finley, and he loves to fight. Everyone started laughing.
You had to bring it out. You had to bring that out.
Everyone started laughing, man. They started laughing, and they're like, oh my God. And he kind of turned back around, and he was like, what the hell? You're quoting my father?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone thought that was hilarious. I'm like, yeah, his name is Finley, and he loves to fight.
He loves to fight. I actually seen that fight. I've actually seen him at a local indie show.
Yeah.
Like at a promotion around. And
yeah.
It was at a church, actually. It was kind of funny, though.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. It was a really good tag team match. I'd have to say that was my favorite tag team match of the night. Okay, that right there was my second favorite tag team match of the night, compared to my first favorite tag team match of the night was the main event with the Golden Lovers. Of course, Kenny Omega, the IWGPA World Heavyweight Champion. That tag team match was my favorite. This is my second favorite one. It was really good. It was. And then, of course, right here, you're going to ask me about this. Let me pull this back up here again. Right here. Yeah. You see that one right there?
Gold. Yeah.
Yeah. You had, Juicin' Thunder Ligon versus Rocky Romero. That was a really good match. That was.
You know what? Romero, man. Rocky from back in the day, was from Ring of Honor also, if you remember. And also, Liger, of course, is... How many times did we see him? That guy's all over the place.
He's a legend. He's a legend, man. Yeah, he's definitely a legend.
I've never met him yet.
No, me neither. One day I'll probably meet him. That match was pretty good. Rocky Romero tried to give him a handshake. And when he was trying to give him a handshake and he didn't want to fall for it, Liger didn't want to fall for it, but he fell for it, and then he got into it with him. And the match was good. It wasn't really a squash match. It did have a good time to it. They didn't really have any squash matches. Each match was timed perfectly. Mm-hmm. And their match with Liger and Romero was great. Liger won by pinfall after hitting his finish. Really good match. Really good in-ring work with him. Rocky Romero playing the heel really well. I couldn't be, more satisfied with that match right there.
I'm looking to the right of your screen, and I see Jeff Cobb. I know that name really well.
Yeah.
Chase Owens, of course.
Yes. Jeff Cobb. The guy sitting next to me, okay? Yeah. The guy sitting next to me, I do have to tell you this. The person... I can find my mouse here. Yeah, the guy sitting next to me, he was just like, who's Jeff Cobb? I said to him, I said, Jeff Cobb's a freaking beast. I said, McShaft right now is wetting his pants for the fact that he knows I'm here and I get to see Jeff Cobb live. Yeah. And Chase Owens, that match was great because he'd never heard of Jeff Cobb, the guy next to me. I said, just watch him. I said, he's a powerhouse. Olympic gold. He's like Kurt Angle. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like Kurt Angle, Olympic gold wrestler.
He's everywhere, man. He's been to every promotion, to the East Coast, to the West Coast. Come on, like PWG's had him. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, one of the top companies in California. I mean, my God, this guy is like a machine, like you said, a machine, and he's what wrestling needs. Guys like Jeff Cobb, and people need to check him out on the internet, jeffcobb.com. Facebook, Jeff Cobb. Check him out. Go watch his videos. See what he's like. He's really something else.
Yeah. So he was asking me about who Jeff Cobb was, and I explained to him. I said he's like Kurt Angle. He is a really, really good wrestler. And I said, he's a beast, man. He's a beast. You just gotta, you have to check him out. I mean, just watch what he does. That's what I explained to him. I said, watch how he moves in the ring and watch what he does. He does some pretty damn good moves. The match.
You know what? Maybe I'll have to talk. I'll have to hit that guy up on pod. I'll have to hit that guy up for an interview. Maybe I'll have to see.
Yeah.
Make it happen. I can probably make it happen. Let me see.
Yeah.
But go ahead, carry on.
So I'm typing at the same time. I'm sharing the podcast out. Yeah, of course, man.
Keep on sharing.
Yeah.
Keep on sharing. Yeah. I'll share it a few. I'm just like, I want to look at watch us and make sure I'm watching the viewers in the room, seeing how many. Keep it. Tabs.
Well, here in a minute, it should probably jump here. So, Jeff Cobb, we're sitting there, and Jeff Cobb stuck to some technical wrestling. He did some stuff. Chase Owens tried to ground him. Jeff did pull in some power moves like a underarm, underhook suplex. He did like a what do you call it? I can't believe I'm forgetting this move here.
German?
Where a waist suplex, side suplex.
Side suplex. That's a popular one now. I've been seeing that a lot. And that's
Yeah. He tossed him. He tossed him around, which was great. And when he tossed him, just the crowd was just in awe at Jeff Cobb manhandling Chase Owens. Chase Owens did get his upper hand on him, but the thing is, when he did get the upper hand on Chase, it was just power. That's what he used to his advantage. Eventually, what happened was, after he ended up taking down Chase Owens, he hit his finisher. It was 1, 2, 3, and that was it. That right there was the end of the match. It was really good. I loved it. I thought it was great and really fantastic. Had really good, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches in all. We had 7 matches. And all I got to say is right here, these matches was no joking around when it came to the stuff. I mean, I just really did like it. Right there was more of it, of the CEO Gaming right there, which is great right there. The t-shirt, if you're viewing the live stream. I'm on the website right now. I'm at ceogaming.org. If you want to check that out and see what there was for it. I mean, this is old, but it's still up here, And I suggest everyone just come in and check it out. That's a wrestling fan and a fan of gaming, because you will love this, man. You will love it.
Could you imagine if they had Could you imagine if they actually had like a wrestling like gaming convention, like tunning, all just wrestling?
Well, that's basically what it was, man. That's basically what it was right there, a wrestling gaming event. That's what it was. A lot of people loved it. They were happy and they loved coming to an event. However,
Did you buy any merch?
no, I didn't buy merch. The only thing I bought was food to feed my stomach because
You know what?
I left
Prices-
work.
Yeah. What do you think of the prices these days? Prices really. Go ahead.
I ended up leaving work. Okay. I left work, came straight home, changed, got my wife, got in the car, and went straight over to the Ocean Center. So, yeah. That.
Let me guess. You bought a hot dog
Yeah, I had a hot dog. I bought a pretzel.
for like $10. Almost.
I know. We ended up, me and my wife, it was ridiculous with the damn prices of the Ocean Center.
Prices at events it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was really ridiculous with the prices.
Like $3. Like, really? Come on.
We ended up, she got a hamburger, she got a pretzel, she got a large Coke. I got a hot dog and a pretzel and a beer. It cost about $21.
You know, back in the days, it was cheaper.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was cheaper. Much cheaper.
But it's a lot cheaper when you go to an indie show nowadays. For a hot dog, come on, $3 is worth it. Like, you know, and a soda, $1. Come on, can't beat that. Or water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't teach that.
You can't. But my God.
Yeah.
You
Now, before I move on to more about this event, I want to hear where you were at, too. You were someplace that night, too, while I was there. Where were you at Friday night? I want to hear about that. The camera's on you, man.
I'm rolling. All right. Well,
Rolling.
I was down in the streets of Asbury Park, New Jersey, the home where the boss and Bruce Springsteen, of course. Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW, was there for an event on Friday night at the House of Independence, and it was a really cool venue place. Like, just the card was stacked from the top to the bottom. Great talent all around. Like, the local wrestlers that are usually there for Combat Zone against other, and some up and coming guys, like, in the business. It was really cool to see. You know what? The show was like something we needed. We needed like different announcers, a different ring announcer once in a while to switch up the atmosphere, So this guy, Jay George came in, and then this lady, Felicia Rose, came in.
Yeah.
Like, she's a punk ass fucking chick, like really. But anyway, the show starts out, the first match opens up. The first match opens up. I'm sure you're reading it right. Go ahead if you want to see what I'm looking at.
I'm looking at the quick results off of CCWWrestling.com. All right, we have Ace Austin versus.
Yes.
He defeated John Silver. Tell me about that.
Ace Austin is a phenomenal wrestler. Like, he's just like one of those up and coming kids. He's all over Texas to Mid-South, Indiana, IWA. He's all over. He's known. He's known for wrestling. He's just the future of wrestling. And then Johnny Silver is like one of the funniest guys in the muscle-bound dude of wrestling. Like, he is a powerhouse midget. Like, he's short for his size. He is short, but he's built. But the guy, my God, his chops, his uppercuts left and right were just crazy that night. I mean, he's also like he's actually a regular for CZW. He's on the main roster. And, he travels too. And he goes all over the place for Beyond Wrestling. He's a big popular company that I'm sure I've told you that before. Beyond is really a base of wrestling too, for like promotional wrestling around the area of Connecticut and Massachusetts. And anyway, so the match was good. And then, of course, Johnny's old partner, because they were called he was called the Beaver Boys. The Beaver Boys, with his partner, Alex Reynolds. Reynolds comes out towards the ring and, comes out and interferes. You know how they do the old roll up 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So he just distracted him. The match was good. It really was.
Now, what about Leah Hershia? He defeated C Bunny. Tell me about that.
Oh my gosh!
Is that's a women's match?
That was a lemons match.
Lemons match. It was a lemons match.
Lemons match. Lemon. Yeah, lemon match. We're coming to the lemon match next. Ring the bell.
My goodness. Yeah. Ring the. Oh, you want me to ring the bell? I got a bell for you. Here we go.
Thank you. Gotta get a wrestling bell. We'll have to get you that.
Okay, here we go.
I feel like I'm on a gong show.
All right, go ahead,
But
man.
anyway,
Tell me about that.
Thank you for the ringing of the bells. But
Yeah, no problem.
yeah, that match right there, Leah Hirsch defeat, C Bunny.
Mhm.
Leah is an up and coming dojo person. Like, she's like out of the academy, and she is a wrestler. She actually's high school wrestler. Like, she amateur wrestling background. So she is a powerhouse, and she won the match versus C Bunny. Like, her uppercuts, she did some superhero moves up in the corners. It was crazy. Like the huge superhero punch. It was crazy. Yeah,
She did? She did? Did she do it better than Roman Reigns?
Can't say that. You'd have to.
Come on, man. The simple answer to that.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Of course she would do it better than Roman Reigns. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. And then the match was over.
What? What did I miss?
No, she won. I mean, Leah won the match.
Mhm.
C Bunny was a character. She's a hip hop deaf. Actually, she's actually deaf, a deaf wrestler. So she is big into the hip hop rap scene, and just dance moves and just gets all funky in the ring like a local, So she does that, and people love her. She's awesome. Yeah.
That's
but
cool.
she lost the match to Leah.
No way.
What are you gonna? Yeah. Yuta defeat Anthony Greeny, Alex Reynolds, and Francis Kipson.
Mhm.
I don't know. German makeup name. I don't really know where he's actually from. But Yuta actually is a former dojo person from the CZW Academy, and he's really made a name for himself on the independent scene. He's out there,
right?
And it was just great to see him back at the Combat Zone. Hopefully he'll be back at the next show. And also another guy making his debut, Anthony Greeny, the retro sexual. Oh my God, this guy was hilarious. He was like retro shirt, top, and fanny pack and Zumba pants, the Zumba wear that's always popular. But yeah, and of course Alex Reynolds. I just said his name.
I know.
He was wrestling.
Yeah.
He really wasn't doing too much in the game. He was just wrestling. But the match was on and on and on. It was pretty good. It was a good back and forth, match. Regular, run around the ring, do this, do that.
Right.
With the pin from Yuta. Yuta for the win.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Yuta. And then, of course, you had Jordan Oliver defeated Rick Swan. Rick Swan was there. I want to know about that. Rick Swan. He was great.
Swan. I mean, you know that he's been known for that. Rich Swan. Yes, we saw that big news that was out there a while back on the social media about his big
about
deal.
last year, I think it was.
Yeah. Last year or the year before, the court case, whatever it was. But anyway, Rich is making a comeback at the Combat Zone, and he showed up to face this young kid, another guy out of the dojo. Jordan Oliver. Really skinny, thin kid, like a pretzel. Like, pretzel thin.
Mm-hmm.
He actually, just a lot of high flip moves and really awesome. Like Rich Swann there was a cool move. I brought my dad to the show, and we're sitting on stage for the VIP section. Like the VIP seating was on the stage. Rich Swann does this move. They're outside the ring, and he goes and he does a kip up,
Yeah.
off the apron, onto the apron of the stage by us.
Yeah.
And then comes back and then does a body dive.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. Damn. I would like to see that, man. I definitely like to see that.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe I'll get you a DVD of that one.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'll set something for your budget. I know you're. I support you too.
Hell?
I
What the hell was that for? Oh, my budget? My budget? What you talking about my budget for?
And buy one, okay?
All right, and I noticed you got the Shook Crew versus Chris Statzland. Jordan Oliver, he defeated Rick Swann. How did he defeat him? I want to get up. I'm jumping ahead.
He has some crony character, his little clique with him. I forget what their name, but
they interfered.
The old roll up 1, 2, 3, 2.
Yeah, schoolboy. That's crazy.
Schoolboy. Yeah, I know.
I'm glad he's doing great on the indies, and I'm sure he's making a good name for himself, and that's awesome.
Actually, Rick Swann is actually going to be going. He's actually hitting Rockstar Pro Wrestling in a H2O show pretty soon, I believe. Or no, excuse me, a Rockstar Pro show pretty soon in the Ohio area. So Dayton, Ohio, excuse me.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
He's always out there, He's always
Yeah, he definitely is. And then you had the Shook Crew and Chris Stratterland. They defeated Brandon Kirk and DJ Hyde and Casey Cattell. That was a pretty good one, I bet.
Yeah, the Shit Crew. They're called the Shit Crew. They really are.
They're called the Shit Crew.
I call them. I started at the last tournament of death. Like, yeah, definitely.
There you go.
But no, anyway, yeah. So TOD, they come to the ring. DJ, he comes. This kid comes on the mic. He's looks like a goat.
Yeah.
His character's like a goat. He's a goat, but he brings a pet goat to the ring. Like a fucking stuffed goat, and so rest was. But he got the face DJ bashing on this and that and bashing. This was the crew that was the original show a while back. Like, they just were not liked by anybody in the crowd, even Brandon Kirk.
Yeah,
he really got under this guy Brandon Kirk's skin. Really got under his skin. So, the night of TOD, Brandon was there. He was not. He was wrestling, but the guy I've had on my podcast before, his name's Mitch Fallon, actually slammed the goat. Slammed the goat. Driver, the stuffed.
He slammed. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Powerbomb the goat, and then shit escalated, and then so DJ got on the mic after those guys were still around, running around, looking, just being stupid and shit. DJ Hyde got on the microphone. I challenge you guys to a hardcore. I challenge you at our next show in Asbury Park for a hardcore show.
Right.
Show up, and they showed up. So it was we had trash cans. We actually got a little ultraviolet. Actually, then when we were at the show, at the Asbury show, actually DJ got on the mic and told their team, this is going to be an ultra-violent street fight. This is going to be ultra CZW rules. So anything goes. Yeah.
Damn.
It was pretty. Yeah. The barbed wire chair came out. Barbed wire bat was out. Yeah. It's great. It's great all around war. Lariat by the God himself, DJ Hyde.
Yeah.
Gave a lariat to the guy. Oh, it was great.
Oh, I bet it was. I bet it was. And then
the Casey Cautel, she got up on the rafters. She climbed up there's seating behind. There's benches and the guard railing, because there's only 2 floors. To the building. But she got up and did a stage dove right off onto the ship crew.
No way. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you got Josh Briggs. He defeated Bad Bones John Killinger.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you had the Rep. They defeated the Rascals, the Ugly Ducklings, the Jim Nasty Boys to retain the CZW Tag Team Championship. And then you had Jimmy Lloyd, Matt Tremont, and Ricky Shane Page defeated Connor Claxton, Dan O'Hara, and Mitch Fallon.
Mitch Fallon. Shout out to Mitch Fallon.
Shout out.
Well, it was like just a basic tag match, ultra-violent tag match. They got extreme because those are all the guys, the ultra-violent guys,
right.
The combat. So they all got together and they had a match, and it was Jimmy Lloyd, Matt Tremont, and Ricky Shane Peach versus Connor Claxton, Dan O'Hara, and Mitch Fallon. My God, talk about all these guys. I see them every time. All these guys put their heart and soul into the game to win, to win a victory over us,
Right.
Every match, they're great guys. I mean, they do best for the business. And so anyway, the whole match goes, and first off, it was funny because Dan O'Hare came to the ring, right, dressed up as a cop. Officer Dan O'Hare had arrived to the combat zone. So it was funny. It was great. So then, of course, at the end of the match, the cuffs came out. And somebody got cuffed. Connor got cuffed.
Right.
But anyway, Matt Tremont comes on the match is over. Of course, and Matt Tremont gets on the mic because he's co-owner of the combat zone.
Yeah.
Also. And so he gets on the mic. I'm gonna have my last. I'm gonna break down and talk some stuff here, but this and that and that and this, and he breaks down. And he says, "At New Heights, it's gonna be my last death match with the Combat Zone."
No way! Wow.
And it's gonna be with. I want it to be with someone who is on the rise in the world of deathmatch wrestling, and he's got trained by him too. A mental, like a lot of these guys get mentored by a lot of the other people. So he asked to have his last death match with Dan O'Hare, big Dan O'Hare, big scared Dan O'Hare.
That's great. That's great, man.
So it's going to be a death match. So I called my buddy up. You have to come to the show. This is something you're going to not want to miss. Matt Tremont's final death match in CZ. But he's not retiring. He said he's not retiring. He's just going to take a break from the combat because he has another company he's working with. That's what I said at Rockstar Pro, H2O. H2O is another company that he works. Hardcore Hustle. Yeah. Organization. And that's... he just relaunched it actually tomorrow night. What's tomorrow? June 7th. Their first opening day show at their new facility. So down in Williamstown, Williamstown, New Jersey. It's really cool.
I love it, man. Sounded like a really, really good event.
I know, and I got tickets ready for. I got tickets for their secret taping show. I can't wait.
Oh, that's great.
In August.
Now, Max.
New height, but I will be on. I think I did tell you, July 28th. I will be in back at the Voorhees, back in Voorhees, New Jersey, at the
yes, yeah, you told me about that. Yeah,
back to the building again.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go back to not the original building, but the building they have now, Colossal's, place. It's sports place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a great night.
I love it.
And I think I told you on that cart. I think I told you about Blackout making a return.
Yeah, I believe so.
Ruckus and Black Cheese, the original, are challenging the rep for the titles. Is they want?
Dude,
it's gonna be. I know.
that's gonna be great. That's definitely gonna be great.
Well, back to Joe Gacy, and you want to talk about that match? My God, this guy MJF, just a real jackass of the wrestling industry. He thinks he's the top guy. He's not. He's a nobody. He's a nobody. Just making. I'm the best in the business. And so he challenged Joe for the title, and
right.
Of course, the guy retained the title with his little crony. His cronies of 3 guys in business suits like they're lawyers.
Yeah. Business suits and lawyers. What the heck?
Damn!
It was horrible.
Oh, it was horrible. I bet it was. So it looked like he retained the CZW World Championship, which was great.
Yeah.
Maxwell Jacob did. It was great. We were both busy. I mean, I was at New Japan. You were at that event at the Ocean Center here in Daytona Beach. You were at that event there up in your neck of the woods in New Jersey. We had a pretty good time. However,
there's so many
I'm
sorry.
My event, okay, the event I was at, it actually made the papers here in Daytona Beach on the Daytona Beach News Journal. However, however, it actually was not that great of a press that it got. I'm going to pull this up here, and I'm going to let you... I want to get your comment on this right here, because your feedback on it, because I'm trying to pull it up. If I can get it here. Where are you? Really? It's not going to let me pull it up. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah. It's not going to. I'm going to have to hit the Google search on it, man. I cannot believe...
Google search is our thing tonight, my friends. This is like Google. We should have a Google night. We really have to have a Google night. The next podcast, we're doing a Google night with Robin.
Yeah.
Next one we do with Robin, we're going to pop Google night. All right? You know what? What time is it right now? Do you want to do? Let's do it right now.
All right, here we go. All right, this has been updated 16 hours ago, and we had one viewer watching, and he's gone now.
He disappeared from us.
Yeah, he disappeared. If it's not a picture of my daughter or my wife holding my daughter, then no one cares.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is for people who follow the show and everything. So this is for you guys. All right. I told you there was a wave of complaints about racist encounters and vulgar comments and stuff. Okay, people that came to the show for the CEO Gaming show, a lot of gamers and stuff that stayed there, they loved being there at the Ocean Center because they're around their peers and people that were into everything they were into. However, when they got outside the Ocean Center, that's where all the excitement and stuff happened and stuff. They had nothing to complain about how the Ocean Center handled the event. It was perfect. It was great. Everything. Their complaints came when they got outside the Ocean Center and they were walking around and stuff with people getting racial comments, stuff thrown at them. Just panhandlers and drug heads running around Daytona Beach shores. It's stupid.
I saw Pepsi can got tossed by you, I thought.
What?
The beer can beer can got tossed by your head. Maybe it was somebody else, though.
Oh, man, you're crazy. Back of my head still hurts. No.
Yeah.
No, this is just ridiculous, man. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I got thrown something at me.
That's like that time I told you. This is like that time I told you about the combat, about all the rules and regulations they had for WrestleMania weekend down in New Orleans. Like you can't, no blood, no this, no that. Come on, really?
Yeah.
Really? Seriously.
It's crazy. But this article's been updated. This article's been updated about 16 hours ago. And it talks about the racial encounters and the verbal comments that people this past weekend from the CEO Fighting Game Championship. The reaction, this is from Daytona Beach News Journal. I'm reading this right here. The reaction has the organization's leaders rethinking whether the event that drew thousands of game enthusiasts might reconsider making a long-term commitment to the venue. Quote, I really love working with the city and Ocean Center leading up to the event and this venue we can grow into, said Alex Jabali, the founder and director of CEO Gaming, the event organizer. Quote, however, I really value my attendees' safety and will discuss next year's event at length and what can be done. I am currently rethinking 2020 and beyond. Orlando-based CEO Gaming, the event company specializes in competitive fighting game tournaments, enthusiast outreach, and promotional entertainment tied to video game productions in the midst of a 2-year deal to present its championships at the Ocean Center in 2018-2019. That marks the first time the event has been held outside of Orlando since it started in 2010. As the 3-day event loomed, Jabali, 35, speculated the original committee could be extended, offering an annual home to an event that this year attracted an estimate, check this out, David, 7,300 gaming enthusiasts representing more than 45 states and 30 countries came to this event alone, man. What's that?
Wow.
What I mean, yeah. Is this not big or what?
It is.
It is. It is.
Shout out to them. That's really.
It is. It's ruined that money.
All I can just say is game on. Really, just play games and have fun.
Yeah.
I don't play games like I used to back in the heyday. Do you remember that movie? Do you remember the movie? There was a movie out there. It was The Wizards or something. Remember Mario or something? There was a competition.
Yeah, Fred Savage. Yeah, I love that movie as a kid, man. It was a great movie. It was.
Shout out to that. Why not? Right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a movie. I remember that.
Yeah, let me read you some examples here. Okay, from the tweets. Now, this is what happened here. Backlash from this year's championship has changed that outlook, he said Thursday, the founder of CEO Gaming. Following a Twitter storm of complaints generally focused on encounters along the streets and sidewalks near the Volusia County-run Ocean Center on State Road A1A and Seabreeze Boulevard. Quote, I felt extremely sad to hear that first-time visitors to Daytona had uncomfortable experiences walking around Daytona itself. Quote, most of the African-American attendees were the ones to experience in-depth of discrimination around the A1A Seabreeze area. Like I said, we have a bunch of fucking crackhead, homeless fucking people walking the streets of fucking Daytona Beach shores, okay?
Well,
we got these fucking people. I'm sick of something that actually can come in and be good for the city that they just crap on. They don't do nothing for. If it's fans coming in for races and bike week, that's their priority.
So
The city council of Daytona Beach needs to fucking change. They do. In November, I hope whoever's in charge in Daytona, I hope your ass gets voted out and someone that has a head on their shoulders can actually come in and do something for the city. I definitely do. I definitely fucking do.
Talking about a couple of matches that were taking place, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I mean, it was Thursday nights. I mean, not Thursday night. Tuesday night SmackDown. What do you expect? It was okay. It was okay. I'll tell you what, it was better than Raw. I'll tell you what, I watched the first hour of Raw, believe it or not, David. And honestly, I looked over to my wife. I said, is anything catching interest to you tonight? No. I said, me neither. Hey, let's finish watching season 2 of Glow. Okay. Click.
Glow Wrestling, man.
Yeah.
You know what? Me and you have been talking about this for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We've definitely been
everybody
talking
knows.
about it.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
talk about it a little. You know,
Yeah.
we've been talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, season 2 Glow was fantastic. I loved it. It was a little bit different from what season 1 was, because for the fact of the matter is that season 1 was more of like the developmental start of everything.
Yes.
And it got going towards the end. They knew where they were going to go with the show and everything. Season 2, it picked up. It showed more of the inside of what was happening in the ring with the characters, the people playing the characters, and outside.
And the contract being, flipped to another promotion that they wanted to keep in the building.
No,
but,
TV.
no.
TV.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, TV. They wanted to switch networks that would put them on a better time slot. That was the whole thing during the last part of season 2. Spoiler alert of Glow.
Okay.
So
Hashtag spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. So what happened was that they could not use their TV characters on another network.
Another network?
Yeah, another network. That's what happens when you have one of these, man.
Oh, this is what you have. I have one of these.
Yes. I know. You're drinking a good shit, man.
Here,
Of course, like Tommy would say from Second Rounds podcast, look at David, look at Everett Lee. He's drinking Natty Ice. Natty Ice. Because that's the only thing I can fucking afford right now. People that support podcasting networks, send me your money, like Rich of the Super Radio Brothers said. Anyhow, let's get back on track. Okay, so they don't own their TV. The network owns the characters, so they can't take that character and move over to another TV show, another network. So that kind of screwed them there, which was interesting. But the season finale had a lot of twist and stuff to it, man. It had a lot that I didn't expect, and I enjoyed it. My wife watched it. We loved the show, and
I loved it. I loved it too. It was really great. Really, it was a cool show.
Yeah.
Anybody that's go check it out on Netflix, and maybe DVD soon. They're probably gonna be released soon for DVD.
Yeah.
Glow Wrestling.
It's just great. It's great. Glow Season 2 was really good. It showed the trials of tribulation that went on the outside of the ring and the inside of the characters and everything.
Like I've brought up before. Like, do you remember the original?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, David, because there's a documentary on Netflix that actually talks about the original Glow, which was great.
Cool.
My wife me and her started watching it last night, and she was really happy that she could see some of the similarities with what was on the show and what is happening or happened on season 2 of Glow.
Characters back then, I'm sure you remember Big Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Big Mama and her Daisy something. Remember Daisy Duke, I think. Right, Daisy something, right?
Yeah.
Sue or And then you had Mama Tom, or whatever. There was Big Mama. But there were so many names that we knew. I mean, could you go through some names? Like, I don't have a list in front of me.
No. I'd have to, I'd have to search that.
Google it.
Google it. Yeah.
Tonight's Google night, folks. It's
Google night. Yeah, Google. It is. It is, with a lot of articles and everything trending on the news and stuff. Google is Google night. But season 2 of Glow was just fantastic. I'll tell you what else I watched last night with my wife. I was waiting for it to come on Netflix when I got the announcement, the email, was Star Wars The Last Jedi. I watched that with her last night.
I don't want you to spoil it.
All I gotta say...
No spoiler.
Oh my God.
No spoiler alert. Toasty. It was a good show.
Oh damn! All I gotta say about Star Wars: The Last Jedi was the fact that I did not like how they portrayed Luke Skywalker, and I did not like how they made Kylo Ren. Well, actually, made him a little bitch. That's all I gotta say about that, and I'm leaving it as that. Other than that, I enjoyed the beginning of the movie. In the end, the middle, I kind of was like wanted to. There you go.
Hey,
all right, I loved it. I was entertained.
That one picture I showed you earlier.
What picture?
From Walmart. Or you want to get into that in a minute? We're gonna do our little this and that and the other things. Dislikes.
Oh, you're talking about this picture right here? That one right there?
Yeah, go ahead. Explain it. Explain it. Pet peeves and stuff, right?
What, this picture right here, I'm looking at a wrestling ring in a fucking Walmart.
There is it. There it is. Oh my God, that's good on camera.
Where did you find that at?
One of my wrestler friends, professional wrestler friends, had it on his wall. I had to steal it. I thought that was original. I mean, that was like... And you were talking to me about, let's do this episode about stores and supermarket checkouts, and Here we go. Where are we at right here? We're at Walmart. Let's go shopping. What aisle is this? The menswear? Is this the menswear? Come on. Like look at the picture. Come on, everybody. Come on. Let's go.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Well, look at it. Do you see it? Like, these people look like they're really...
All aboard the Midtown Express to hell.
Yeah, exactly. Yo! Yeah. Hey, look up above. Do you see what that monitor says?
What's the monitor say? What does it say?
Do you see it? Look.
Walmart Network. Walmart Network.
Oh my God! What the fuck is that?
They had their own network. Oh my God!
Oh my goodness!
Look at that! You can't. Yeah. Wow.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
Oh my goodness!
Well, what would you do if you went shopping? Like, excuse me. Hey, I'm watching wrestling right now. In the middle of the sporting good, in the middle of the sports show.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Now before we get into topics, I want to take a quick commercial break, real quick. Okay, I want to take a quick break. I want to give a shout out to Sports Sanity. Head over to sportsanity.com for the latest Podcast City Network t-shirts. Hit them up, let them know Podcast City Network sent you over and you want your Podcast City Network t-shirt. City Limits Tap Room in DeLand, Florida, home of Draft Day. Head over to City Limits Tap Room in DeLand, Florida to check out a wide variety of indoor and outdoor sporting on TV. Pool tables, dart boards, backstage outdoor events happening at City Limits Tap Room in DeLand, Florida. And they are the official host of Draft Day, brought to you by Podcast City Network. And, of course, Atlantic Sounds. Head over to Atlantic Sounds in Daytona Beach off of International Boulevard. If you're looking for that CD, that vinyl record, and that cassette that got away from you a long time ago, head over to Atlantic Sounds. They may have it, and much, much more there. If you're looking for a turntable with stereo system, posters, memorabilia of your favorite artists and bands, and much, much more, head over to Atlantic Sounds off of International Boulevard in Daytona Beach. If you're looking to book that perfect travel, that destination, and get away from it all, that island you want to be by yourself, hit up Telltale Travel. Hit up Brittany Imler on the sponsor section on podcastcity.net and let her know you want to book that perfect destination to get away with just you, that loved one, or your family. Hit her up on podcastcity.net. Telltale Travel. Hit up Brittany Imler, and she will hook you up with the latest deals. And, of course, this is all brought to you by Podcast City Network. Again, head over to podcastcity.net and check out your latest favorite podcast. And, of course, I want to give a shout-out to Dave Dynasty Show, Midwest Wrestling Podcast.
Greetings, wrestling fans. This is Dave Dynasty, host of the Dave Dynasty Show, the podcast that every week brings you nearly 2 hours of pro wrestling goodness from the Midwest. We feature interviews with the legends of the past, stars of today, and the prospects of tomorrow. We have segments that feature classic wrestling audio, whole episodes devoted to the history of Midwest pro wrestling, and much, much more. Do not miss an episode of the Dave Dynasty Show. We are available on all podcast platforms, or you can access past episodes and all of our social media links by visiting davedynasty.com. Be good, be safe, and keep on growing.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
One thing I want to talk about before we close this podcast, I want to talk about a couple things real quick. Like products that don't last like they used to, man. One thing I've had a discussion with people here lately is about products that don't last like they used to. That have you ever noticed here lately about products that don't last longer than what they're supposed to? You ever notice that? Do you have stuff that don't last long? Like
products.
Yeah, like electronics, like household stuff. Yeah. I get this week I've been getting a conversation with people that talk about stuff that, they don't last long, man. They don't last long like it used to. Well, it just, for example, like kitchen stuff. I just got to throw this out there. I've been talking about a lot about kitchen stuff, kitchen utensils, stuff that you use you use in the kitchen, like blenders and toasters. They just don't last like they used to back in the day. I remember my mother had this big ass blender with the metal bowl, and that thing can blend up anything, a mixer. They don't make them.
They would blend up concrete too.
Yeah. They don't make it like they used to. They don't. I don't get this, but in a way I do and I don't. Some products last long, other products don't last as long because it's just cheap, You name anything off the top of your head that you've had that don't last long, and then you have to go out and buy it again.
Headphones.
Headphones. Perfect example. Tell me about your headphones.
Piece of shit. It broke. Piece of shit. It broke, but I invested in a nice brand new pair. Sony, phenomenal. Great job. But I don't have them on right now, so I can't show them. Can't show them to the world. But wait a minute, I can do this. Yes, here. You want to take an example and see, folks?
Yeah.
Brand new set. Brand new. Made by Sony. You know, Sony is like the #1 company on the market, and we know how they sound. The quality is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a pair over at Five Below. That's right. You can go cheap route, 2 fans, not the high expensive end. But no, the quality sucked, dude. The quality. I pick up. But I bought myself a brand new set with a noise, the noise sensor, the noise feature on it, and it clears everything. It's great, though. It's just great.
Mm-hmm.
And did you just buy some new speakers? You just had an old pair that you bought for $1 or $2, and they were like the ones that you threw a pair out. They were horrible. They were just horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You just bought.
I bought. Finally, I got some computer speakers here, which are pretty good. They do what they're supposed to do, but
that first pair you had that you showed me that one time, horrible. Like it's all muffled. I couldn't hear it. Hear it.
Yeah, they were horrible. They were. These speakers pretty good. I got them set up. I got one over in this corner, one over in that corner, and I got a subwoofer down below, and it's just fantastic. I love it. And I wonder how long they're going to last. They'll probably last me.
That was that company, Jippinen? I think it was called Jippinen. I think it was called Jippinen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, was it just a generic foreign company that the muffled? It was an annoying sound when you were playing your music. I heard it, and it was horrible.
Yeah. These speakers I got, hopefully they'll last long, but I don't expect them. If they don't last long, they should. But if not, I'll end up getting another pair. That's it. And I think that's what consumers realize.
Yeah.
Or they don't realize. A lot of consumers realize products last, but then they realize a lot of products don't. And therefore that they just, I don't know. That's how they get you in. They make products cheap and they last a certain amount of time. It's like cell phones, man. Cell phones, for example. This phone right here, this is my old phone right here. The old Galaxy.
Right.
Galaxy 6 Edge. This thing lasted me quite a while, and then it finally went out. It did. It finally went out after 2 years. I had to replace my phone, so I ended up getting this phone right here.
Great quality telephone.
Yeah.
Great picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got this is the Galaxy Prime 2.
You know what? I haven't changed phones in quite a while. I still have a iPhone 6 Plus.
Yeah.
I haven't gone out of my contract yet. August, I think I'm up for an upgrade, but I don't know. Maybe I'll stay with it. I don't know.
You don't know? Yeah. Yeah, they just don't make products like they used to. They don't. That tears up quick. They have a lifespan, and that's it. That makes you buy more.
And the software, the Apple or the Android products are just, it's always a battlefield with them. We know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It is. It's a battlefield with that stuff. You ever notice when you're at the checkout, people purchases at checkouts?
How much stuff is in their shopping cart, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me, like you go and you're like I go to Target a lot. Okay, I shop at Target. Since I was like 5 minutes away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you go to the checkout and you see this person with like just tons of clothes, they'll put clothes in a pile of clothes all the way in the they really gonna wear that? Why? Then a price check for this one. Make sure I get a discount on this one. You know how that goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I know how that goes. It's just, It's ridiculous, man. It is. It's definitely ridiculous. Trying to find... Yeah, there we go. People purchases at checkouts. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'll tell you a story here. This happened this week. I went to 7-Eleven. I went in to get something to drink, and I'm sitting there waiting in line, and the lady in front of me, she's sitting there, and she's kind of like off a little bit in left field, doing woo woo. So what happened was she's sitting there, and while she's at the checkout there, she had a pack of Trojan thin condoms, extra thin.
Trojan man.
Yes. Trojan man. And she bought a NOS. And she bought it and she left, and it was kind of awkward for her, I guess. So the lady at the checkout, she was like, kind of like, okay. And I'm like, what? What's that? She goes, she bought a NOS. She bought extra thin condoms. I was like, okay. Yeah, she bought extra thin condoms. And then she said she bought a NOS. So you know what my response was? I looked at her. I said, you know what she was really in here to get, don't you? She said, what? I said, the condoms. I said, she bought the NOS so it wouldn't feel awkward. She started laughing. She said, oh my God. We're like, we know what she's going to do tonight. I mean, she's going to protect herself safely when she drinks that NOS with the freaking condoms. Oh my God.
Oh my God, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what happened there. Yeah. So she started laughing. I said, here's a story. I'll tell you, David. When my ex-girlfriend, she used to come over a lot, and when she come over, we couldn't keep her hands off each other when the mood just hit right. Yeah. And she was coming over to stay night one night, and she's like, yeah, I want to get a little, get freaky down, get freaky with you, with my man. So I was like, I told her, I have no protection. I said, you're on your way coming here. Swing by Walmart or whatever place and pick up some condoms. I don't want to. I said, you got to pick up some condoms, man. So she felt bad about it. And I said, the only thing you're going to be able to do to pick up condoms, I said, just buy something. Buy tampons or something. So she went, I think she went to Walmart. I'm sitting there waiting for her. She comes home. Okay, she comes over. She freaking had a bag full of crap. I'm like, what the hell is this? She dumps it on the floor there in my room. I lived with my best friend. So she dumps the bag on the floor. I'm looking at all this stuff. And I'm like, what the hell is this? She bought Coca-Colas, 20-ounce Coca-Colas or Mountain Dews. She bought a bunch of candy. She bought tampons. She bought condoms. I was like, well, at least you bought the one thing we wanted. So I drank Mountain Dew, ate chocolate, got hyped up like Beavis, and I put on a condom and I went to fucking town. End of story.
True. So basically, our sponsor of the night that we're not sponsored by, Trojan Man.
Trojan Man. We should reach out to Trojan. Do a PSA thing for Trojan Man.
For the EverettLeeShow. Yes. Trojan Man.
Trojan Man.
Play it safe, kids. Don't jump without a parachute.
Yeah, you need that raincoat, buddy.
Gotta throw the Jimmy on. Gotta throw the Jimmy on once in a while.
Yeah, you definitely do. But you ever notice some of the weird shit people buy? I know when I'm in the front of the checkout, I know that for a fact that they're probably looking at what I'm buying. They're like, psh, look what this guy's buying, man.
He's got bags of Pringles. He's got Pringles. He's got pork rinds. He's got fucking Mountain Dew. He's got Slim Jims and like other stuff that's just like,
Yeah.
what the hell is it?
I know. That's basically what the whole point
You
is.
ever go to the supermarket line? The supermarket line's like, what the hell do these people really eat? You ever notice that too? That's like,
I noticed. I'm like, good Lord, man, these people are fucking eating great tonight. I noticed that shit.
Then you go to then you see the one person. Okay, a bag of strawberries. A Diet Coke.
Yeah.
A bag of vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like a dessert or something. Like, really?
A dessert.
Tell me you're on a diet or something, right? Really?
Oh man, yeah, I noticed that. Like what people buy for their purchases is just some weird shit. But I look at myself, I'm looking at what I have there. I got fucking like, I got at least I got fresh food from the produce section when I'm in the supermarket. I got freaking whole milk for my daughter. I'm looking down. I got my butter bread.
Got your biscuits.
Yeah, got my biscuits, got my eggs, got my bacon. I just feel like freaking Jim Brewer, man. He's like, yeah, man, we need that, man, you know, or a half baked.
Roll of toilet paper right here. I got a package of paper towels.
Sometimes I'm like, I feel bad. Honestly, I feel bad about buying toilet paper because for the fact is when they're ringing up, the people behind me know what type of paper I use to wipe my ass with every day. Before we close, what should people expect out of you in the following weeks for Deathmatch Russell Podcast? Let the viewers know and listeners what's going to be going on with Deathmatch Russell Podcast in the next few weeks. Some big stuff.
I'm so busy. Also, shout out for tomorrow. I want to say shout out to Vicious Outcast Wrestling for their Deathmatch tournament that's underway. That's tomorrow night, and actually shout out tonight to IWA Mid-South's Guardians of Hardcore. So you want to be Guardians of Hardcore tonight, and it's some good events going on. And that tomorrow night is in Virginia. You're going to see a deathmatch tournament. Vicious Out, Bloodthirsty, as they present Bloodthirsty, Vicious Outcast Wrestling, and the card is stacked, and that's going to lead into something for September. For the deathmatch tournament at Elliott, the Lords of Anarchy deathmatch tournament to see who becomes the new champion, and King of the Death, like the King of the Death world, and so that's going to be there, and I'll be there covering some stuff, so you can check that out. I'll be there in September, but what's tomorrow? Saturday?
Yes, Saturday.
Well, I'm taking a day off tomorrow.
Me, I won't. I gotta work. I definitely gotta work.
I'm gonna take. Yeah. I might go to the flea market. And look for some random figures for fun. I haven't done that in quite a while.
Dude, that'd be awesome if you do.
But Sunday, fans, please tune in because there's a book being launched. There's a book on the market right now. And I've had the host on. I've had the editor on before, John Kosfer, and we're gonna be talking. I'm gonna have on the line the one and only. It's the Madman Pondo, and his book is getting launched. It's top. It's reaching people like over 5,000 now. It's crazy. It's out there to the public. So I'm gonna have him on my. Madman Pondo on my podcast. We're going to discuss about the book and much more. And did I tell you about Thursday night? Actually, Wednesday night. Stay tuned because I got a podcast with Palma Star, female wrestler. So that's going to be a cool conversation. But Thursday, I was on Twitter earlier this afternoon, or I was on my Facebook page earlier, and I have some brand new merch coming out. I got these lapel pins coming out. Deathmatch Russell Podcast pins. Lapel pins for they're going to be sold for $5 at a show.
Mm-hmm.
This guy hits me up. The one and only Jimmy Rave will be on my show from Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Thursday night, so stay tuned, fans, for that. It's going to be a blast from the past and your friend in the business. It's really made it name for himself, Jimmy Reeves. And there might be some other podcasts here and there, we don't know. But then something in the works, I think, for July 14th, I think we're looking at. Yeah.
For Deleted Wrestling Podcast.
Yes, for the Deleted Wrestling Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But as always, I want to say thank you to the Everett Lee Show for having me on again, as always, and being a co-host and being a part of it, as always. And shout out to Podcast City Network, the one and only Podcast City Network, for all your independent podcasts, wrestling podcasts, comedy, movies, gaming, and much, much more. Thank you for all them, for support them, like them, share them on Twitter and Facebook. And where can you catch your Deathmatch Russell Podcast? As always, on Facebook at Deathmatch Russell Podcast, and also on Facebook, David C. Russell podcast on Deathmatch Russell Podcast, and on Twitter at David NJ32 and also on my website, Deathmatch Russell Podcast, for all your past episodes, current episodes, much more. Stay tuned, fans. Check it out. New merch on the way. Get rid of the old merch soon. It's going. So buy a t-shirt and a shirt. Buy a t-shirt and a show. Support the product of the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. And just stay tuned and listen to who I'm going to have on my show. You never know. Tune in. Have a good night. And Everett Lee, have a good night, my friend.
Oh, you too, man. You too. Let's hit this outro music right here. Well, before I do, I will mention a couple things. Yeah. Deleted Wrestling Podcast. At the end of the month, we will have a special Deleted Wrestling Podcast with a guest, which will be talking about a rivalry with a king and a comic. That's all I can say right now. You'll have to tune in on July 23rd to find out. That's Monday night for the Deleted Wrestling Podcast. And this week, later next week, second rounds, Tommy James, so smooth Tommy James from Florida Edition will be joining the Everett Lee Show with Robin Nelson from Wrestle Podcast and Robin Nelson Presents Paranormal Files 13. We'll be doing a WWE Extreme Rules prediction show. If you caught the prediction show last month, I did with Mr. So Smooth Tommy James. And then the show afterwards to talk about the results. It's happening again this month, next week. It'll be Mr. So Smooth Tommy James from Second Rounds Florida Edition and Robin Nielsen Wrestle Podcast joining me to talk about what to expect for the coming Sunday's Extreme Rules, our predictions on the matches and the match card. And then after that week, we will have our results. You'll be joining me again to talk about what we think about Extreme Rules, what we like and what we hate, and what we love about it. So tune in for that. Follow Everett Lee on Twitter at the Everett _Lee. Facebook.com/Everett Lee. Click that thumbs up. And of course, Podcast City Network for your latest podcasts, such as Everett Lee Show and Deathmatch Russell Podcast, and much, much more on Podcast City Network. Head over to Facebook, Facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit that thumbs up and send a tweet to Podcast City Network on Twitter at Podcast City Net. And that, my friend, is the end of the show. I want to thank David Russell for coming on, hanging out with Everett Lee, having a good time, man. As always, Everett Lee signing off. I want everyone to have a good night, good weekend, and we'll see you again next time on the Everett Lee Show. Peace!